Hi, my name is Thomas Keck, and I'm a senior sales engineer over here at Swimlane. And thanks for joining me today. We are going to cover the reporting engine within the Turbine platform. And so with Turbine out of the box, it does come with a variety of different dashboards. So whether that is like your security operations or maybe your analyst triage or more focusing on kind of like the threat intel and the results of enrichment. But these dashboards are then going to be comprised of one or more different reports. And the reporting engine is very quick and easy to use to be able to extract out what's the relevant data that you need to be able to display quick on a dashboard. And so with one of our out-of-the-box dashboards for the security operations overview, you can see kind of the breadth of the different report and visualization types that are available. And now you can either very easily create your own, or you can take one of these and modify it to then really fit your needs. And so, for example, let's say if I wanted to take this signal source over time, I can then go to the little menu in the corner, click on display and search, and then this will show you, the raw data that is comprised within the report. And then when you go to open chart, this is really the core of the reporting engine. And so you can really think of the reporting engine as three different parts to it. You have the filters that really lets you filter down into what are the cases in the system that you really want to focus on. And this allows you to use any of the fields or the data points to be able to create these filters. So let's say if I want to do something like I just want to look at the cases that are not currently resolved. So it just show me kind of the active ones. So now I can create a filter that does not equal resolved. And then we can see that it filters down to just those particular records. Now I can also very easily clear these filters as well. And so that way you can really just in a couple of clicks kind of build out what do you want to have on each individual report. And then besides the filter, all you need to do is define what we call a measure, which is basically how are we counting the data within the report. And so for this particular report, we're basically taking the signal sources and then we're counting how many do we have for those different signal sources in the system. And then the dimension is what are we grouping the data by? And depending on the report visualization type, you may have one or more different dimensions. So what we're looking at now is that we are grouping it by the first created. So when did the case first get created within the turbine system? And then we're going to group it by the different signal source values. So ultimately, now we can see based upon the different dates, how many alerts do we have versus how many cases were created manually versus how many phishing emails. But again, these are very easy to customize and change. So let's say if I wanted to see a breakdown of just when were the cases first created by the day of the week. So I can get rid of the signal source, maybe change the visualization to something like a bar chart, and then I can group it by like, do I want to group it by hour, day of the week, month? And so you can just click on what do you want to kind of group the dates by. So now we have a breakdown of how many were created on Sunday versus Monday versus Tuesday. Or let's say if I wanted to go ahead and create a report that will show me how many cases do we have by the status. And so then I can get rid of the measured dimension. And in this case, I'm going to use the unique identifier for the different cases called the tracking ID. And then for the dimension, I'm going to go ahead and use the case status. So now this will show me how many are blocked, in progress, new, and resolved. But then let's say if I only want to see kind of those active cases. So now this is where I can then take the status, put in does not equal resolved. And now this is just going to show me what are the ones that are currently active. And now I can then also change the visualization just depending on how do I want to ultimately show this report within a dashboard. And then you can ultimately take these reports and also schedule them as well. So if I wanted it to be more of a emailed report. So rather than it being something I go into the Swimlane platform, now I can then see kind of the report preview of what it would look like. And then I can kind of customize it. When do I want to schedule it? Give it a report name, and then we're off to the races. So really, that is the reporting engine within the Turbine platform, how you can very easily, within just a couple of clicks, be able to create your own reports that then you can have automatically either generate on a dashboard or be sent out via email. So thanks for your time.